Hello and welcome to this edition of Martindale Digital Live. We are live at 5 p.m. Central, and today I'm going to show you 3 steps that you can take to get free media coverage for your law firm or your legal practice area. Now that's free media coverage, whether it's TV, radio, newspapers. There's lots of free media out there, and I'm going to show you, if you stick with me to the end, the 3 steps that you can take to get that free coverage for your law firm and legal practice. My name is Richard Martindale. I've been an attorney for 25 years and also a digital marketing expert for over 10 years. On these live stream broadcasts, I like to give attorneys and law firms information and tips that they can use in a practical sense in order to increase the number of clients that they're getting through their digital marketing and increase the leads that they're getting. Attorneys and law firms need a constant stream of leads and clients in order to make their law firms profitable and keep them in business. And now more than ever, it's really important to know how to use the internet. So I hope you'll stick with me and watch some of these live stream broadcasts and learn how to effectively market your law firm online. Now, for today's episode, with regard to these 3 steps you can take for media coverage, I want to tell you a little story. I used to run a digital marketing agency here in Austin, and we basically did digital marketing for local businesses, restaurants, all types of businesses. And one day I got a call because I had a number of videos and obviously content online about our marketing services, social media management that we would do for businesses, websites, just SEO, all the digital marketing things that you would think of. But I was sitting in my office and I got a call from a reporter from CBS. She was from the local news station here in Austin, Texas, and called me and said, "Hey, we're running a story on bounty hunters who are using Facebook to track down, people who they have who've, jumped bail or who are out there, and bounty hunters are using social media to track these people down and catch them and bring them back. And we want to get some insight from an expert on social media and Facebook and things like that." So I said, "Sure, happy to help you. When do you need me?" They said, "We want to come this afternoon with a camera crew, want to meet you and just do some, a quick interview." Gave me a rundown of the questions. So I did that. That afternoon, I kind of put on a little bit better clothes and got ready for the TV lights, but basically did an interview for the local news station about Facebook and about social media. And, they used it in conjunction with their news story that they're running about bounty hunters. Now, you may say, "Okay, Richard, what does that have to do with social media and law firms and my marketing?" Well, I want to show you the 3 steps that you can use to basically do the same thing, but do it in a little bit more affirmative way so that you can use this news media that's free and out there, TV, newspapers, radio, that people who are always, the reporters and news stations are always looking for content for their broadcasts. They need experts, they need opinions. So I'm going to show you the 3 steps that you can take to capitalize on their need for information and content and experts, and how you as an attorney in your law firm can use that to your advantage and turn it into free exposure and traffic that will come to your law firm and your website because you will be seen as the expert. Now, in order to do this, if you've watched any of my broadcasts over the last few days, you know that I've used the blackboard. So I'm going to go to the blackboard now and kind of show you the 3 steps that you can take, and we'll demonstrate it with a real example. And I want to emphasize to you, right now, obviously, with what's going on in our country, there's a lot of information and news media. There's a lot of buzz going on, over the last week and even over the last few months. First, you've got the coronavirus and COVID-19. Obviously, that's a huge topic of what's going on in the media. Right now, we have riots and violence, all over the United States, and the Black Lives Matter movement. There's all types of hashtags and information out there. Now, one thing I want to say, and I want to be clear with regard to this, is that you, as an attorney and law firm, should never take advantage, so to speak, of the media and the trends in the media to just have blatant self promotion. There are a lot of serious issues that have to be confronted, and you should never, leverage what's going on in the news, without a clear, context, and without you actually having something to contribute on the issues. So I want to make that clear as I start out with regard to these 3 steps. So with that caveat in mind, please understand, here's what I want to show you this example so that you can use it, but obviously use it in a responsible way and an ethical way, in that what you can do, to contribute, be an expert, give opinions on the topics that are trending in the news, but do it in a way that contributes positively to what's going on. So please keep that in mind. But with regard to these trends and what's happening, I want to use the blackboard to give you an example. So, we've talked about the trends and what's going on, and let me adjust my mic here a little bit so I can get into my blackboard. But let me switch my screen a little bit so you can make it a little bigger and you can see it clearly. All right, so let's think about with regard to, for example, let's go here. We got COVID-19. Let's just use that as a clear example of one thing that's going on right now. And I want you to think about from a picture standpoint, picture in your mind when you've got these trends that are going on in the media, being, TV, radio, newspapers, internet. These trends basically cause, a wave of information that's going on. So my artwork is not always the best, but think of this as a wave. We got some frothing down here as the wave is capsizing, but basically you have, at any given moment in time, you have trends of what's trending in the media. If you look at, for example, President Trump, whether you agree with his politics or not, he's a master at using trends and using the media to his advantage. Whether that's in a positive way or a negative way, I'm not making any commentary. But think about how these trends, such as COVID-19, are a big trend, and there is a lot of media coverage out there regarding that. Obviously, again, there are issues right now with violence, Black Lives Matter, and things like that. So at any given point in time, there are trends. And what you want to do is, for example, you can go to Twitter, whether you have a Twitter account or not, but you can go to Twitter and look at what's trending. So that can give you an example. Twitter is a great, kind of instantaneous platform to be able to see what is trending, what are people talking about on the internet. You can also go to Google Trends, and Google basically gives you information. And let me take off my bottom banner here so that you can actually see everything that I'm writing. But Google Trends is another place where you can go so you can see what's trending. You can even do just searches on Twitter for, hashtags. So hashtags are a way that you can get into the wave of this information. So step 1 in this 3-step process is finding out what is trending, what is a topic of heightened, coverage, heightened concern, and use these trends. Basically, you want to think of yourself as kind of a surfer, and I'll tell you this artwork is going to be horrible, but Think of yourself as a surfer who is riding the wave of this trend of information. So you've got this wave and this trend that's going on. So identifying the trend, and for this instance, we'll use COVID-19. So if you are an attorney, let's say you practice in the area of healthcare, obviously there's a lot of coverage with regard to vaccines, genetics, testing, everything that's going on with regard to COVID-19. In addition to just how it's affecting, immigration issues with regard to letting people in or out of the country. I mean, there are so many issues surrounding a trend like COVID-19 that once you identify the trend through some of this research, you find the wave of information, then you want to get your surfboard and ride that trend by, in the second step, creating content. So you want to create content around this trend. So let's just change my color to red here. So you find the trend and then you create content around that trend. And you can use, for example, hashtags. So you can do different things. Let's think of, you can create videos around that. You can create articles around this content. You can, do podcasts. We'll do like a little microphone here for a podcast. That kind of looks like a person too. But there's lots of content that you can create that's on trend. So remember, on trend, and as I said at the beginning, on trend, but ethically and creating valuable content where you're actually contributing positively to the discussion. And once you have this content, organically, you might get some traffic from this, meaning, you don't have to run paid advertising to it and people might naturally pick it up. If you're really, really lucky, you might get a viral video that goes. So let's say you created a video around a topic that is trending and maybe it goes viral and you really get a lot of free publicity out of it. Radio stations, TVs, everything picks it up and promotes it, talks about it. That would be your best case scenario. But even if not, if you create this content, then you go to step 3, where you promote the content. If you're going to read that, my handwriting, as I'm kind of doing a little twister game here to get around my mic and write with my left hand as well. But you promote this content. You can do it by, let's say, you can contact reporters. That's one way that I've seen, like I said in my story, a reporter in that instance contacted me. But you can have a list of reporters, TV stations, radio stations, things like that, and offer yourself up and promote this content. So let's say you created a video, you can send a link to reporters and say, hey, I'm happy to come on air and discuss this with you. Thought you might enjoy this content, if you're writing a piece about it. Research reporters who are writing on this subject. Reach out to them directly. So you've got reporters. You can also use just media outlets. People do like PR people do like, news blasts and news releases and things like that get the content out into the information or into the kind of the digital space to promote it. But you've got to actively promote it. You can even then also just run ads to it. You can use like Facebook, or depending on your medium, whether it's an article or a video, you can do Facebook posts right on your Facebook page for your business page and then promote it out through ads. But by doing this, you will then be using the wave, as we talked about at the very beginning, which is the key to this strategy. And you use that wave of information, that content that's already out there, that's being produced, that's being promoted, and you get into that wave. So you're not having to create it yourself. You are taking advantage of the media and the news that's out there, these trends that are happening, and use these 3 steps to research what's trending, create the content, and then promote the content. And I promise you, if you do this enough times, it may not happen the first time, may not happen the second time, may not happen the third time, but if you keep it up and you're consistent in doing this, and you are actually contributing and have valuable information, I promise you at some point it will pick up. You'll have a reporter who has a deadline, or somebody who has something that they need somebody immediately. They're going to think of you as the expert. And I can tell you, from experience, once you are interviewed by like a news media station, people see you as the expert. So that is a way that you can ride the free wave of trending content, create your own content around that topic, and then promote that content and ride that free wave of media and information from TV, radio, newspapers, and the internet to get more clients for your law firm. That's a great law firm marketing tip, and I hope you enjoy it. I actually hope you use it and implement it. Take advantage of the media, the news that's out there, and go use it to get more clients for your law firm. Well, that's all we have for today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at live at 5, Martindale Live at 5 o'clock p.m. Central. Make sure you join us live on Facebook or YouTube. You can even watch us on Twitter through Periscope. And leave us a comment, subscribe to our channel so you know when we go live. And I'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Hope you have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you again soon.